Hello friends, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and in this video we're going to do a detailed comparison of two mid-range smartphones, the Lenovo K3 Note we just launched recently, along with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G variant. So this has got a price drop recently. It was initially priced 9,999, now it's available for 7,999, while the K3 Note is priced 9,999 and comes with a full HD displays, octa-core chipset, 2GB RAM, 16GB internal storage, 13MP rear camera, Android Lollipop, and a 2900 mAh battery. Now the Redmi Note 4G comes with a Snapdragon 400 quad-core chipset with 2GB RAM, 8GB internal storage, 13MP camera, a 3100 mAh battery, and it does come with a MIUI 6. So that was the spec aspect of these two smartphones. Now let's get into the detailed comparison. So first step, let's see the design and build quality. Now design wise, both these devices have a 5.5-inch display, but you can see that the Lenovo K3 Note is a lot slimmer and lightweight, and also has a matte finish rear panel which looks pretty good, and the overall quality looks very good. There is power button and volume key with a chrome finish, and the full HD display is also pretty vibrant, and there are three capacitive buttons at the bottom which are not really backlit, and the overall look and feel looks pretty good for this device in this price point. Now the Redmi Note 4G was announced almost 6 months back, and this a device which has a glossy finishing. Although the glossy finishing looks pretty decent, the weight of the device is very high. It's almost touching the 200 grams mark, and this is just 150 grams, so there is a huge difference in terms of the weight factor. Design and build quality wise, we would say the Lenovo K3 Note is better here because it's lighter in weight. It's also slimmer than the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G variant, and also has a good quality finishing. The matte finishing looks much better than the glossy finishing on the Redmi Note, and moreover the Redmi Note looks a lot bigger than to hold than the K3 Note, because of the K3 Note has a slimmer bezels, and not too much of space is wasted at the bottom. You can see here both these devices. So all in all, in the design and build quality wise, we would say the Lenovo K3 Note is better than the Redmi Note. Now moving on to the display, the Lenovo K3 Note has a full HD display, that's a 1080p display, while the Redmi Note 4G has an HD display, that's 720p. So you can see that the clear winner in terms of the display specs is the K3 Note, and it is pretty vibrant. The touch response is pretty good, and the viewing angles and also the color reproduction looks pretty good. The touch response is very good on the Redmi Note as well, but the Redmi Note has a slightly reflective display when compared to the Lenovo K3 Note, and it's kind of a fingerprint magnet in terms of the overall touch response. Now while the K3 Note does not have any protection for the display, there is Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection on the Redmi Note, so that's one advantage for the Redmi Note, even though the display overall quality looks better on the K3 Note. So that is the display aspect. Now moving on to the software and performance. So here there is a big difference, because the K3 Note is powered by the latest Android, that's Android 5.2 Lollipop, and features the custom Vibe UI. So you can see this is a custom Vibe UI with a lot of customizations. You can see the custom notification center, the settings is also customized. There are basic some themes included which you can change using the themes app, and it also features some gestures and other options. So all in all, it's a pretty good feature rich OS, but it's not really polished OS, but it still does the work good with the Android 5.0 Lollipop, and it's a pretty decent looking OS. Now talking about the Xiaomi Redmi Note, this has the MIUI 6, so that's powered on top of Android KitKat. So that's not the latest version, but even though it's not the latest version, the best thing about this device is the completely customized notification center. It does support a lot of themes. You can customize every bit of the OS, and a lot of features are included which is missing on the Lenovo K3 Note. You also have lots of inbuilt apps from Xiaomi, and it's much better polished UI when compared to the K3 Note. So we would say in the software aspect, although the K3 Note has the latest software, the amount of customizations is much better on the Redmi Note with Android 4.4 KitKat. Now talking about the performance, the K3 Note is powered by an octa-core chipset with a 64-bit processor, while the Redmi Note is powered by the Snapdragon 400 quad-core chipset. The 400 is a pretty old processor right now, but it does perform pretty well, and it performs without any issues. The K3 Note is very good performer. The octa-core chipset works really well. Now talking about the gaming experience, we would say here the Redmi Note is better because there is no lag or issues in the Redmi Note. While when we played gaming on the K3 Note, we did encounter a lot of issues, and it was not really the best gaming experience. Even though it has a full HD display, the gaming experience we would say is slightly better on the Redmi Note because there was no lag or issues when compared to the K3 Note. Now the other aspects in terms of the performance is the K3 Note comes with 16GB internal storage, while the Redmi Note comes with only 8GB internal storage. And an important aspect here is that the Lenovo K3 Note can be expanded via micro SD card, and you can install apps on the SD card, so that's one really great thing. While the Redmi Note, you can expand the storage, but you cannot install apps on the SD card, and you have to live with the 8GB available on this device, which almost 4GB is available to the user for just apps alone. So that's one big issue with Redmi Note. You cannot install apps on the SD card unless you root the device. So that's the software and performance side. So all in all, in the performance and software side, it's a mixed bag. Although the software is latest on the K3 Note, the UI is better on the Redmi Note, and the performance is better on the K3 Note because it has an octa-core processor. So that is the software side. Now moving to the camera, this is one important aspect of any smartphone, and both these devices have the 13 megapixel rear camera. The Lenovo K3 Note has a dual LED flash, while the Redmi Note has a single LED flash. Now the camera interface on both these devices are pretty decent. They do offer a lot of features including filters, effects. The interface on the Redmi Note is slightly better because it does offer additional features like scene mode. There is also manual option here that's not available on the K3 Note. While the K3 Note does offer decent amount of features, there is no manual mode. So interface wise, we will say the rear winner is the Redmi Note with the MIUI 6 camera interface. Now talking about the photo and video quality, here again we would say the Redmi Note is a winner here because the Redmi Note camera is really good. The 13 megapixel shooter is very good and produces really great shots. The K3 Note does have a decent camera, but it's not really a consistent camera when compared to the Redmi Note, and the colors doesn't look really great along with the sharpness levels, which are pretty lower when compared to the Redmi Note. The same goes with the video recording as well. So all in all, in the camera aspect, we would say the Redmi Note is a clear winner here. It beats the 13 megapixel camera on the Lenovo K3 Note. Now finally, moving on to the battery performance. Both these devices have a battery capacity very similar. The Lenovo K3 Note has a 2900 milliamp hour capacity, while the Redmi Note has a 3100 milliamp hour capacity. The capacity is slightly higher on the Redmi Note, and also it powers only a HD display, while the K3 Note has to power a full HD display. So the battery performance overall is slightly better on the Redmi Note when compared to the K3 Note. But having said that, the K3 Note also does produce a pretty decent battery performance. You can get 1 day of usage with average usage. So that was a comparison of the Xiaomi Redmi Note with the Lenovo K3 Note. Now regarding the pricing, the K3 Note is right now priced 9,999, and the Redmi Note is priced 7,999. So there is a difference of 2K right now between these two devices. So which is better device to buy here? So if you have additional 2K to spend, we would say the K3 Note is definitely much better device, unless you are really bothered about the camera experience. If that is the case, then you should be going with the Xiaomi Redmi Note, which has a better camera. Apart from that, it has the K3 Note has a full HD display, latest software, and also an octa-core processor with 16GB internal storage. So these are the things which are really working for the K3 Note, while for the Xiaomi Redmi Note, we would say MIUI 6 and a better camera. So that was a detailed comparison of the Redmi Note 4G with the K3 Note. Apart from this, there is another big difference between these two devices. The Lenovo K3 Note does have dual SIM card support, while the Redmi Note is just single SIM card. So if you're looking for two SIM cards, obviously you will be disappointed with having just one SIM card on the Redmi Note 4G variant. So that was a comparison of the K3 Note with the Redmi Note. So hope you liked this video. If you have any queries, drop in a comment and we'll be glad to help you out with your queries. If you like this video, do hit the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.